Hi there and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to continue Volume 6. This will be Episode 4 of my scrapbooks, and we're continuing on with the Mirage photos. If I had mentioned several times, maybe you've never heard this before, but I'm especially fond of the Mirage era photographs, and especially of this photographer and the photographs I have coming up in this segment. I've mentioned George Hurrell in the past, especially when it had to do with Lindsey Buckingham's Law and Order video, or cover shoot, I should say. And George Hurrell was a prominent Hollywood photographer during the 30s and 40s. After some time being the head of, I think it was MGM's photography department, taking pictures of basically any Hollywood starlet and matinee idol that you can imagine, he moved on after a period of time, created his own studio, worked for, I think, Columbia, and then I think for fashion magazines, but then in like 70s and 80s, he started doing some album covers. And after working with Lindsey Buckingham in 81, he worked with Fleetwood Mac in 82, 83. So, yeah. So, I'm sorry, I say 83, but I know it was 82, but the album came out later. And I just think 83 is the time of Mirage. And I'll do that often, so forgive me. But anyway, so I've had some few have been available. If anybody has ever gotten the Mirage songbook, which funny enough is, in my opinion, a companion piece, almost like a tour book for the Mirage album, and the Belladonna songbook, I feel the same way because both Belladonna and Mirage Tour did not have tour books. And if you have the Mirage songbook, there's a lot of great photos in there, some of which I'll point out and you'll see, and those were all done by Hurrell. And some of the ones that I have, though, are really nice. And so I'll just jump right out the gate with them. These are some right here of Stevie. And I want to say it's this one. I no longer have the Mirage songbook, which is unfortunate, but it happens. And so I can't really remember, or else I would have had that to show you as well. And I also would have shown it in like the tour book part. But I believe that it's this photo of Stevie that's in there. And in my time, I've come across about, I think we're going to see about 6, maybe 7, maybe about 6 different photos of Stevie in this outfit. And although, I don't know, I've always kind of felt this one doesn't really look like Stevie so much, but that's also kind of the charm of it, is that it's very much Stevie, but it's very much George Hurrell's work. And again, he's just a real big fan of the dark and the light, dark on one side, light on the other, which is always what I'm going for. No, I'm kidding. If I could have George Hurrell's lighting, my life would be entirely different. But so these are some here. And on the other side of the page are some outtakes from the Mirage cover photo session. Again, all by Hurrell. These photos I'm not too sure about. These were on the shoot for the Hold Me video. And there is this is like a little sticker I got. I think somebody just grabbed it from something, I don't know, but it's been around for a long time. But these two, I think were being sold some time ago, and I just was able to get copies. I would kill to have more of this session. I am just, as much as I talk about being a fanatic of the Gypsy video, which I showed photos of last time, I'm really a fan of the Hold Me video, especially this part here. This whole scene and this whole, just all of it. Stevie's beautiful in the Gypsy video, but there's something about the Mirage video just as a whole. I'm really crazy about that. But in a magazine or a book I think I had, it might say the photographer, and I'm not sure that it's photographer or if these are screen grabs or like just, pictures taken before the shoot. So it may not be a photographer, but maybe also the director. So I'm not really sure about that one. But some really nice, just a little collage of Mirage time. And then following that, one of the other ones that I had never seen before. So there's this outfit that Stevie's wearing right here, which is kind of looks like a little velvet jacket over something. And so that kind of comes into play of which one of my very prized possessions. Again, I have a few, but this one is really one of my very dearest. And this is a Hurrell. It does not have the embossed stamp, but it has a stamp on the back. And again, this just goes to show, like I'd shown in a prior video of the band with all the shadows behind them, this is just Stevie on her own. It gives that kind of shadow. It's absolutely a stunning, stunning photo of her. Then on to other ones. This again is a Hurl one. Pardon me, one of my least favorites. I just think Christine's, that hairdo, it just, I don't know. It doesn't really flatter her, this one. It flatters Stevie a little bit. But I think if they had done like, you know, both of them with the profile, like kind of looking in the same direction, I think that would have been a better shot. This is me who knows jack squat about photography, but that's just my opinion. I just don't think it does. And also maybe it's the hair. I don't know. Then this was a press photo that came out, and that press photo is taken by Sam Emerson. So I'm going to guess that this one is as well. And then continuing on with this picture here, we have this one. Now this picture, I think Christine looks phenomenal, and I'm not too crazy about Stevie. Christine really doesn't look like herself. And here we don't really have the shadow and light quite as much, but it's still a really pretty picture. Stevie just looks like she does look like a Hollywood star. She looks completely different to me than a music star, music celebrity. Christine looks great in that picture, I think. That's just me. Then we have some color photos. Let's see, I don't think that these are by, I'm not sure that these are by Hurrell. I think that they're not. I think that these are by, oh, there's nothing on the back, unfortunately. I think that these might be Emerson myself. That's just me. You see that this one had the original, has the little crown part here. Then moving on, we have another picture that I think is from the same time. And then on the back side, it's the famous, which I'm completely enamored with this picture. This is on a couple of the 45s that I have. I think a 45 and I think a 12-inch single for possibly Love and Store. I can't recall, but they're import versions. But then also this is most infamous during the opening of the Fleetwood Mac HBO special. And this one is tacked down, so I can't take it out to check the back, but I don't think there's anything on the back. But I just love the silhouettes. It looks so different. It's such a cool photo. Then onto that same shoot, we have this one. Again, I'm getting that super blue on the camera from Lindsay here. But again, you can tell this is an original with the wax crayon. And then let's see if this one has a stamp on the back. Jim Shea. I'm pretty sure these are all by Jim. Great shot of the band. Really one of the better shots. I'm going to guess, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the rest of these shots that I'd shown earlier, these are Jim as well, but that's just me. Only because of some of the negatives and stuff that not negatives, I'm sorry, the photo sheets that I have, photo proofs. And some of the last great ones are this one. And this one is going to go back with this outfit of which Stevie is wearing here. Super, super rare shot of Stevie. Again, back to Hurrell. And again, this 100% looks like something from the 30s or 40s. Now, Hurrell was most prominent in the 20s and, oh no, was it 30s and 40s? Yeah. He might have shot as early as the 20s, but definitely like the go-to person. And if you think if anybody out there knows who Jane Russell is, and the outlaw and the famous bra, and she's got the top half down and stuff like that. Harrell shot those shots too, so those are kind of go down in history with some of those pictures. And then almost last, we have this other outtake of Stevie, which definitely differs from the other ones. Gives a little bit more of that shadow and light play. This one has just a little bit more than, let's see this first one here. And maybe this one as well has a little bit more. So yeah, but still another great, beautiful shot. So I think I want to say this one, and this next one I'm going to show you. And unfortunately, only this one here has the more sepia and the more photo like I don't know if this was in a gallery. I don't know anything about this, but unfortunately it has a little tear on it. But when I went to see Buckingham McVie on tour, I saw about 6 of those shows, I think. And at one of the shows, I had brought a couple pictures of Christine, and I would love for her to have met her, of course, but to have something signed. And I want to say that I had brought the one with her and the guys, this one here, and then a couple others, and then this one. And I just was really on the fence with bringing this one at all, because it's a valuable photo in general as a original Harrell. It already has a little blemish on it. And if anybody remembers my experience, if you watched one of my very first videos on my scrapbooks, when Lindsey Buckingham signed the Buckingham Nicks outtake original, just LB, it was kind of just a scrawl. And it's his autograph. I know that, that, but it just kind of really demonetized, just kind of ruined the picture, if you will. And I was really concerned about this one as well. But in my infinite wisdom, I still went ahead. And at one of the shows, I was waving some of the pictures at Christine, and I was just really hoping that maybe she'd take them back, do something after the show, and I could, ask security or something to get it afterwards. I really just didn't know how to do it. And she had come down and she had tried to sign something, and she was unable to. She had to go. She had to leave the stage. It was like during the final encores. So the following night, I went to San Luis Obispo to see her, and I had the photos again. And she kind of looked like this, like when I showed them, it's like, oh yeah, like almost that happened. Because again, the night prior, I apologized, in the other city, a security person had told me to wait, that she had wanted to see me. That's what they said. I had not seen the security person in all the area, so I don't even know how that came to be, but I was kind of singled out, afterwards at the end, told to wait. I know for a fact that Lindsay was visiting with family, as was Christine, or maybe Christine was visiting with Lindsay's family, so it just didn't work out. So again, back to the next night in San Luis Obispo, I'd shown them, and she was kind of like, oh yeah, like, yes, I'll do this. So she comes to the front of the stage at this point, and she reaches down like she's going to sign something. And of course, I'm like trying to tell her I love her, my name, something, I don't know, or just like take these and go. And then I know you have to leave the stage. You can't just hang out here. And she goes to reach for a Sharpie that I have. And so sign it, but the lid is on it, because of course I'm just not going to leave the lid off a pen to A, dry out, or B, get on these or on their stage equipment, anything like that. I'm not going to do that. So she kind of gives me this look of like, you don't want to piss off your idols right from the front of the stage. So she goes, she comes back. People are trying to hand me a pen, trying to hand it to her and stuff like that. Finally, she comes back, and long story short, I got this photo autographed from her, from the line, and she came back. I mean, so she couldn't have been that angry. So I was really honored. But this is the picture that it was. And again, this is an original Harrell, and just certainly a rarer photo of my Fleetwood Mac collection in general, not just of Stevie, not just of Christine or Fleetwood Mac, but this one. This is really a keeper. And so I got that signature. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I have some other signatures, which you'll see of her from 1984. Not that I got, but I know from for a fact that they're the legit thing. But I have that story. I have her signature. I have this print, and it means everything to me. But this is a stunning photo, and you see, I have all this beautiful stuff, and I have it in my scrapbooks, and I love it. But this one gets hung up. This one is in my stairway. As you go up my stairs, there's all my lots of concert, lots of signed stuff from people: Tori Amos, Stevie Nicks, Christine, Susie, things like that. So a lot of stuff like that, and this one has to be in that kind of hall, that kind of walk of awesomeness. So that's my little story, and I'm going to close out with this great picture. Again, I have some more great stuff coming up next time, but I hope you enjoyed this one, and thanks for coming out again and watching my videos, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night. Bye.